Hey everyone, in today's video we're going to look at how to play Here I Am to Worship. We're looking at it's kind of a small worship series, so this is Here I Am to Worship. If you haven't yet, download this off of my website at www.lessons.rock.com. So this is Here I Am to Worship. This is sort of a classic traditional worship church tune, been done by I don't know how many guys. It's been done so many different times. So there's a lot of different arrangements, and I stressed that in my previous video when we did Heart of Worship. We talked about that song. And I talked about how worship songs, you can change them and arrange them according to your needs because everybody's already done it, so there's really not necessarily one set way that it's going to be done. Here I Am to Worship. So let's look at this song. So first off, I've got 3 different colors. If you see my previous videos, I like to use colors to separate the parts. I think the colors are pretty. So the blue section I use to represent the verse. I'm using orange to represent my choruses, and in this case I'm using purple to represent the bridge. So what that does for you is sort of gives you a general layout. Anything that's orange is going to be a chorus, anything that's blue is a verse, or an interlude or something of that nature, an intro, something that uses the verse chords, and the purple is going to be the bridge. Up here, this is the rhythm, which is down, down, up, down, up, down, 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 up. And that's a little comma there and a comma there, and those basically mean that you're going to give that a little bit of a pause between those down strokes. So it's going to be down, miss, miss, down, miss, miss, up, down, up, down, up, down, 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 up, down, miss, down, miss, up, down, 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 up. And I'll demonstrate that in a little bit. Let's go ahead and play that rhythm together. So let's start here. So that rhythm is going to be down, down, up, down, 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 up. Down, down, up, down, 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 up. Let's put 2 of them together. Down, down, up, down, 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 up, down, down, up, down, down, up. Alright, so hopefully you get a good idea about that. So the next thing that we're going to do is, when you take a look at this song, is there's a line written right here, and that line is showing you that we're splitting this rhythm. So this is what's called the split rhythm. And a split rhythm basically means we're applying half of the rhythm or part of the rhythm to one section or one chord, and we're applying another half of that rhythm to a different chord. So in this case, if you look over here, it's going to tell you the amount of rhythm. So the D says half because it's going to be the first half of the rhythm, or the down, down part. The A says half, it's going to be the up, down, 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 up part. And then finally E minor says 1. So it's half a rhythm, the first half, the last half, and then a full rhythm. First half of the rhythm, last half of the rhythm, then the full rhythm on E minor. The same is going to be true for the second line of the verse. The D is going to be half a rhythm, A is going to be the last half of the rhythm, and then the G is going to be the full rhythm. That concludes our first verse section. Now down here, this is a little different. Everything that you did before in verse 1 is relevant, so you're going to do all of that, except in between the verse and the chorus, you're going to add an additional 8 downstrokes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The last chord that you're ending on is that G, right, down here in this section. So you just tack that on. So let me show you what that looks like all together. So the first set, you're going to have D, A, and E minor. Okay, second set, D. Cool, so that's our first set and that's our second set. Now, when we look at the second verse, everything's going to be identical, except when we get to the G, I'm going to do my normal rhythm on G plus an additional 8 downstrokes. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And notice that those 8 downstrokes were crescendoing. So a crescendo basically means to gradually get louder, right? So you're not just going to do 8 downstrokes. You have to get louder as you're doing it. Okay, so that's that. Now let's look at the chorus. And the chorus is going to be one rhythm for each of the chords. And so we have 4 chords. We have D, A/C sharp, I'll explain that in a minute, B minor, and G. So those are your 4 chords. one rhythm on each. So we like symmetry music, right? So four chords, four rhythms. Hey, it makes sense to me. So A/C sharp. That is what's called a slash chord. That's a term you want to memorize. Now, for music nerds like me, we would actually say that that's an inversion. So if you were playing piano or if you were playing bass, it sort of makes a little more sense. Let me kind of explain that. If I'm playing guitar and I don't know what to do with the slash chord, I will always play the left side of the chord, which is to say I will just play A. If I do know what to do, I can play the A/C sharp. Basically, it's a chord with the changed root note. I'm going to go and give you that answer. I'm going to show you what that chord is going to look like. But the reason why it's sort of important is because you really can't look it up in a chord book. You can't go look up a chord book and go, oh, A/C sharp. Because A/C sharp is sort of slang. It's not really appropriate. It's not really the way that it should be written. It's slang, right? In the same way that you can't go look up in Webster's dictionary, what's up? What's up is not going to be in the dictionary. It's going to be what is up, but the phrase what's up is not going to be there. That's sort of an urban slang term that we use. Same kind of idea here. A/C sharp, not going to be in a chord dictionary. They're going to have an A C sharp, won't be an A/C sharp because they expect you to understand intervals and inversions. Okay, so A/C sharp, let's talk about that. So this is normally an A. I do my A's with one finger, and it's kind of tricky, right? So I use one finger to cover the 4, 3, and 2 strings, but you got to try to get that one string to ring out open. So when I'm doing my A/C sharp, I'm using this finger here to cover 4, 3, and 2, and I'm using this finger only for 5, or I can use this finger for 5 if I like. So that's how you're going to do an A/C sharp. Now the trick is here, though, as you're doing that you want to not let the 6th string ring out. So you don't want to, hear this. Just want to hear that. Sounds good. And then the second thing is it's really hard to get that and get the 1st string out. So we have to compromise, right? So let's just dump the 1st string. Forget it. Don't even worry about playing it. As long as you're getting strings 5, 4, 3, and 2, I'm happy. I'm good with that. Again, if you are not good at that chord, if you're not comfortable with that chord, just play an A major. It's 100% acceptable. You just won't quite get the same color tones. If you play piano, if you're a pianist, what you should do is you should be playing this is kind of switched. The left hand is going to play the right side of the chord, which is the C sharp. The right hand is going to play the left side of the chord, which is the A. And that's kind of backwards, I know. Let me say that again. If you play piano, left hand plays the C sharp, which is the right side of the chord, and the right hand plays the left side of the chord, which is the A. Cool. Glad we got that settled. Let's look at what the chorus would look like. So I have one rhythm on A. Oh, I'm sorry, D. One rhythm on A slash, B minor, and G. And that is going to be my chorus. The bridge is going to be the last part. We're going to have 3 chords in the bridge. That's the part that we said was purple. A, D, and G. You guessed it. So since we have 3 chords in there, we have to sort of even that out to make it symmetrical. So what we're going to do is we're going to put a half a rhythm here on this first chord on A, half a rhythm on D, and then a half a rhythm on G. So for the bridge, let me say that again. We're going to have a half a rhythm on A, which is the first half. On the D, we're going to have the last half of the rhythm. And the G, we have the full rhythm. So by the end of the bridge, we should have completed the rhythm twice. 2 complete rhythms, I should say, by the top line of the bridge. And we play the bridge multiple times. It says 4 here, and that's 4 times 2 lines, so it's really 8 lines. So that's really 8 of these progressions. But hopefully you get an idea. Hopefully that's enough information to help you figure out how to play Here I Am to Worship, a great traditional worship church song. Oh, one last thing is right here, this chorus, it says MP to MF. Once again, that's more of a music nerd term for me, for music nerds like me. MP stands for mezzo piano. Mezzo piano just means medium soft. So piano means soft, mezzo means medium or moderate. Forte is going to mean loud, and so that's going to mean medium loud. So that's saying MP to MF, so it's saying, hey, we should go quiet and then loud. So that's generally going to represent sort of a breakdown in the song, and they're very common towards the end, kind of like the first past the first 3 quarters. Like once you're at the 80% mark of the song, you're gonna hear something like that. Something like this. And you can see how I started off really quietly and I sort of gradually worked my way up to being a little bit louder. Not crazy loud, but a little louder than it was before, because it was just sort of a whisper, just kind of real big open spots. And that's a great place to show your technique. If you can do hammer-ons and pull-offs and something fancy, if you're not there yet, you just do single downstrokes, and that's perfectly acceptable. And that is how you play Here I Am to Worship. Again, kind of a traditional classic church song. Please rate, comment, favorite, subscribe, and share this video with your friends. I will be uploading more worship songs in the future, so definitely stop by, lessonsthatrock.com. Thank you guys for watching.